Hello there, YouTube. Simply amazing. Got my shield and everything all nice and clean there at the shop. With a nice fresh microfiber. I pull out of the parking lot and I bet you I didn't make it 25 feet. Bam! Bug hits me right in the shield. Welcome to the life of motorcycle riding. So I'm going to take a little bit different route. Some of it will be kind of the same. More than half of it will be different. All this out here is part of Weyerhaeuser. Look at that train all painted up, nice and new looking. But this is a frontage road that runs along Weyerhaeuser. This is a road my dad traveled for quite a few years. In 1978, after years and years and years of working for an international paper, he moved himself and the whole family up here to Longview, Washington. There was a new newspaper print facility that was built right in the middle of Weyerhaeuser here, called Norpac. And one of the tricky things about Norpac was that of all the mills around here, it was the only one that was non-union. Man, oh man, did that create some scuffles at school and some craziness down here at work. This right here used to be the entrance into Norpac, and it was this huge, I mean, guarded protesters, all kinds of stuff was there. It was nuts. And now that's the main entrance, and as you can see, it's still guarded. Norpac is back in the back there. But yeah, he finally, geez, what year was that he retired? Wow, I don't remember now. I'm trying to think if he was still working when I moved up here in 2000. I'll have to ponder it. It turns green just as I get up on it. But that's the main Weyerhaeuser entrance right there. Not the same. Didn't I pass those guys? Must have went out West Side Highway and took the Delamita Road loop, which is what I'm about to do. Yeah, what a facility, huh? And on the other side of this light is where my father-in-law spent 30 plus years and retired from. Luckily, he retired when he did, because they closed it down. It was Reynolds Aluminum, another major employer out here. And now all you see is some of the electrical stuff. When they shut it down, they were all the electricity that they were using to make all that aluminum, they were selling back to California. And then I think that finally come to an end at some point. But now it's called Millennium. And what it looks like they're going to do is turn this into a huge coal processing facility. But there's way more. Well, you can see most of it was all taken down now, all these fancy electrical things. There's some massive electricity involved with producing aluminum. That used to be a credit union right there. Actually still has a sign on it. It says Reynolds Longview Federal Credit Union. Oh my God. Look at that. It's still got the sign out in front. Wow. You know, I drove by that and I noticed that thing's been abandoned for quite some time. How about that? that's cool that it retained its sign. Anyway, somewhere in the midst of all that is where my father-in-law worked for quite some time. That back there, that road went in between Mount Solo, a place I used to ride dirt bikes all the time. And there were some incredible trails up above there too. Really cool. But all that got gated off like most places around here. All these cool things all have to come to an end because some jerk goes out and gets himself hurt and then sues the landowner. I just wonder what kind of a ruthless pile of dung you gotta be to do something like that. So you go out and get all tanked up, crash your four-wheeler or your motorcycle, and here's a good idea: let's sue the person that owns the land because their land was not safe while you were doing an unsafe act on a motorcycle. Baffles the mind, doesn't it? And that place turned into a huge motorcycle recreation thing, and they didn't get enough people coming out there. It was a horrible place to ride. I went out there a couple of times with Ryan when he was young, and horrible. It's just not just open land. It was just junk, and all of that is all dredge spoil from all them hills that you see back there. Just dredge spoil where they dug all the volcanic ash out of the Columbia River. I think got so plugged up ships couldn't come up and down anymore. In fact, I think there's still dredging operations going on from time to time. High school buddy of mine is buried in there. His wife, he was cleaning some guns or something, and the guns were sitting on the table, and he was asleep on the couch, and she picked the gun up. So the rumor goes, that's how it's down on the records. Picking the guns up, one of the guns went off a rifle and shot him right in the head as he was asleep. Needless to say, that was the end of it. This left-hand turn right here takes you out to Willow Grove. I've taken you out there around that loop with the boat landing and the beach along the Columbia. This is what a lot of people refer to as the Longview Slough. It doesn't matter, no matter what. It looks muddy, murky, and it stinks. I couldn't imagine. And there's the top of St. Helens sitting out there. You can see that far away. She used to be nice and pointy. That was one beautiful mountain. It looked like Mount Fuji. Is what St. Helens, if you look at the old pictures of her. Man, the stench coming off of that, I just absolutely could not imagine living there. But with any smell like that, like being in Longview stinks because of all the paper mills. You just get used to it. You don't notice it. And not stopping there a lot. Of course, now I am more because of dropping Kelly off at work and stuff. But not stopping there, man, you pull into Longview and you're just like, oh my God, it stinks in here. Man, that, what process it is during the paper making that puts off that stench is something else. Now, when I rode the iron, I think it's probably been a couple years ago now, but when I rode the iron to Astoria, I took the Washington route back, and that's that highway right there is the Washington side. It's Highway 4. Takes you all the way out to Long Beach and beyond. Whoa. Let go a little too quick there, almost stalled her. I don't know if that's still being used as our water reservoirs. I would, in this day and age, I would doubt it, with it being that accessible to people. You know, we world now, but probably being used for the mills and stuff now. But I think that used to be our water reservoirs, whatever that staging as they go through the cleaning process. It may still be, I have no idea. Maybe they don't see a threat in this area. But geez, I haven't been on city water since I lived in Texas. Well water. But with all these places out and about, they all end up getting switched. They did that in Portland. Started off with well water, and they came through and plugged us all in, and they actually charged you for the amount of water that runs off of your roof. They calculate the amount of rainfall and charge you by the amount of water that is dissipated off of your roof of your house, because all that's going through their sewer system. So they're charging you for basically their street sewer along with your own sewer and water. Pretty crazy, huh? Never heard of such a thing. Looking through the bills once, they like, what is that? Kelly called the water company, and yeah, that's based on the amount of rainfall, which you can imagine the price can be quite high because it never stops raining around here. Of course, you get these beautiful days like I have right now. Out here driving through the nice twisty hilly roads. Springtime of year, things are blooming and the colors coming back. Gorgeous. Man, there's 2 times of the year, the spring and fall around here, that it is stunning. There's the old Coal Creek store that was open forever and ever, and here in the last year or two, shut her down. All these little country stores are all going by the wayside. They just can't, you know, people are all so price conscious now, and all the Walmarts. Longview has 3 Walmarts just in Longview. Man, that just takes out all these little small grocery stores. You know, and they just make it, you know, because Walmart's just, you know, one-stop shopping. It's got everything there. It's you know, it's hard not to go there for things. While you're there, you might as well get your groceries, you know. So these little mom and pop hardware stores and grocery stores, just one by one. And of course, you know, the people are getting older, and the families are looking at the financial viability of continuing to run something like that. And that's usually when they get shut down. It's once the, you know, the last runner of it is, you know, at the age they're going to retire and pass it on, or they, you know, they pass away, whatever happens. All these little roads that go bombing around through here. I am quite freaking hungry. Let's stop and get me something to eat somewhere. It's still going to be a few hours before my wife gets home. She gets off at 5. It's 3:45 now, and she's going to run out and check out my daughter's new house. So she'll, God knows, be there for who's to tell how long. I don't know if you guys can notice, or if you can tell the exhaust note change and a little bit of a bark from the airbox. We are very rapidly going uphill, and very rapidly dropping in temperature too. out up here in just a little bit, and we'll start heading down the other side. I think this is still Delameter. I may be wrong. I get these things mixed up. I don't really care. I just know where the road's at and I drive on it. Tell people, you know, you go over, it's a beautiful ride going over whatever road, and they go, well, how the hell did you ride on the road and not know what the name was? To be honest with you, I never looked. It's usually once somebody asks, that's when I pay attention. I don't know why, I don't care. There's Rainier and Mount St. Helens, if you can see that. God almighty, I don't want to drive off of that. Holy moly. It's cool up here. But this is the peak right here. Here's where she rolls over and heads back down. That's one bummer. I mean, I love the super view and how everything flows past, and you have that feeling you're riding along with me here. I mean, I can actually look at my own videos and just go, you know, that's just what it was like riding along there. And but the one thing I do notice is the absolute void of the extremes of hills and turns and whatnot. It just kind of neutralizes all that. Just that wide angle view is kind of famous for that kind of stuff. Man, oh man, the peg dragging, knee dragging craziness of my youth coming through here. All these roads out here. I ride them sport bikes and just think, man, that was so much fun. I love that style. I love what they feel like. I love the handling. I know just as sure as the world I'd be trying to fly through here again. Oh, I just, you know, the stress of riding that way, you know, you think it's fun, and while you're doing it, it's horrendous fun. It's after you're done and you're at home and you're winding down and you're thinking how you drove through an area. And then, you know, of course, some video will pop up on YouTube of some guy crashing, and it is so easy to go down. And I'm just thinking, at my age, I probably don't need to be sliding down the road and bouncing off a guardrail or anything. Things kind of go crunch and crackle. Like my old favorite thing, it sounds like you're stepping on a bag of Doritos. Where before you're like a Nerf ball or something. You just bounce. Get up, you got a couple of scrapes here and there, and you walk away. You're more concerned about your bike. Nowadays you go down, you start counting fingers and toes and making sure everything moves. It's an old ass Sportster there. Holy moly. Man, when I reached out and waved, a bug smacked me right in the fingers. Whack! Ah, yeah, it's starting to warm up again now. Ah, that was a pretty creek there. I forgot to stop and, or not stop, but slow down so you can see it. Oh, the old Road King. She's nice and comfortable, but she's by no means a nimble motorcycle. But sometimes you just want to kick back and cruise and just enjoy the comfort, take it slow and watch the scenery. It's not that I ride the Sportster fast, it's just that's a different experience. It's like this fun, rough and raw experience. This is just, you know, like riding in your most comfortable chair, just kind of loafing along down the road. No big rush. Just enjoying the ride and the scenery, which is something, you know, I never did before. I was all about, let's see how fast I can make it through there. I'd literally time myself from, you know, end to end of a road and pay attention to that every time and go home and brag to Kelly how fast I made it down Delameter or whatever road I'm on, you know. You just get wiser. And all that's not important. I mean, you realize who the hell are you impressing? You think you're impressing someone. You know, the older people just shake their head and go, "You stupid kid." I'll read about you in the papers here before too long. And the younger guys, "Oh, dude, you're awesome. That's incredible. I don't know how you ride that fast," you know. So it's this stupid pride for being an idiot that you have, you know. Yeah, it makes you wonder why. Now you look back, and you know, I see it every day. You know, the young guys with their sport bikes. That's what they do. All it takes is one little slip up. Some old farmer dump a little diesel on the road, or somebody's horse that got free takes a big old shite right in the middle of the road. You come flying around that corner, it can all be over quick. Jeez, that was a mean ass looking bull right there. Need to go home and wonder if it wasn't. I know we didn't come this far out, and I know it wasn't Monahan we were going on, but you know what, since I'm here, let's just peruse out here right quick. Let's see. I keep thinking I may have the road that I went logging on incorrect, but I know we didn't come up and over that hill. It was down low, but I can't seem to find it. Look at that house nestled in them trees. Is that awesome? That reminds me of my aunt's house in Alabama, in Mobile. They lived on this hill, and not that there's a lot of hills in Alabama, but they were on a hill. Kind of nestled in the trees. Their backyard was nice and woodsy. It was beautiful. Yeah, I'm almost positive it's where I've taken you out before, and I just can't seem to find where it's at. This doesn't look familiar, but then, you know, some of this could have been logged, and it changes drastically when they do that. Yeah, I remember this. Looking at that hillside in the background. Yeah, this is not it. But let's cruise out here and see what it's about anyway, huh? Oh, there's something else I want to explore here a little bit. We'll do that on the way back too. I'll let you guys, I've probably been talking way too long. Yeah, over 20 minutes. I see a 2. This thing should dead end here pretty soon. Wow, look at this. Man, this looks like an old farm or something that is literally hanging on by a thread. Wow, what was this? They're too tall to be chicken farms. Damn, what the hell was that? What were them buildings? Those look like chicken farms. Boy, whatever it was, it hasn't been that for quite some time. I think I see an end of county road right up ahead of me here. This is going to be the end. Yeah, let's just turn it around right here. So, on that note, out here here in the countryside, private property, no trespassing. I am going to let you guys go, and then there's another exploring thing I want to do. Oh, good Lord, 26 minutes. I need to go. So we'll chit chat with you guys here a little bit down the road here. Let me get going here a bit, and we'll come back on. So we'll talk to you here in a bit. We'll see ya. Bye bye.